Alright, so I'm using the same plastic follower from Sparrows. I started loading this end first earlier, and I went into like 8 minutes. Wow, look at that thing, just fell right in there. Sirens are not after me, they're not after me. Alright, so you just drop your pin back in there, kind of like shake him around. I don't know if you can see all this going on in there. It's kind of exciting what's going on back there. And we move this forward a little bit. You want to make sure you don't smash the spring too much. Whoa, where did that guy go? Look at that, did you see that? I pushed down on that. Man, I'd have to rewatch that video. That thing is nowhere around here. That driver pin just like did a disappearing act. I was trying to push it down. It's not in there. That's the spring. And if it bounced out, it didn't make any noise. Luckily, as with this extra spring that I got out of this kit that they give you here, I have extra standard driver pins. I happen to have one right here that I am not going to use. I'm going to drop that in there. You know, maybe that... Let me just shake this stuff out. Yeah, he was hiding. That other... If that ever happens to you, don't continue to load it, because what you're going to do is that little pin, that driver pin, jumped out of where the spring was at and landed in the next slot and went all the way down because there's no spring there and you couldn't see him. And I thought, man, this thing just did a disappearing act. See, he just did it again. No, he was trying to do it again. It's mainly my technique sucks, and it has nothing to do with magic or elves or goblins, lock goblins, if we've got those. Anyways, this is really difficult to do on camera. I mean, it's kind of a challenge normally, especially I'm not used to it. There's a way of doing this without having to load that one all the way in the back like that, but I'm stubborn and I don't want to watch another YouTube video on something I should know already, and I might as well show you the way not to do it, you know. Somebody can learn from that and say, you know what, the way he did that took too long and looked inefficient. Yeah, you're right, because I did it the incorrect way. But as long as it works, that spring is kind of like jammed forward. Like I said, I went too far forward with it. Kind of jammied him. There we go. Straighten him out. That's also why the pin wouldn't go in there. And it just had enough of the pin sticking up to make it a nuisance, bouncing around. I'm using a flat end of a tension bar to kind of help mash that down. Bing! It's not the best thing in the world to use. And there we go. I think I've got it. By Jove. No. Nope, bouncing around. Well, this can be amusing to all of you who know how to do this real easily, and you'll say, oh, man, if you would have just not tried to load that last chamber and loaded the other ones instead, you would have got it much quicker. You're right. You are correct. I am stubborn. Even if it takes me 700 decades, I will get it done if I'm still alive. Alright, so I've got one loaded, one down, 4 to go. That spring drops in real easy. Hopefully this little spool will drop in easily too. It's a double-ended spool, so it doesn't matter which end goes in. We don't care. You can use the other end of your pick blade if you know what you're doing to help mash your pins down, I think. I'm not saying I know what I'm doing. And this is at 4 minutes, so we're still good. I'm going to stick my head in there so I can see what the hell I'm doing. I have very bad eyesight, and I can see pretty well up close, though. I may have gone too far forward with that, yep. that plug follower, if you go too far forward, it will compress the spring a little bit, but you can't get the pin in. So there's another one. Bear with me. I'm trying as fast as I can to get this done. I'm trying to keep it on camera. I'm not always successful on that. Let's drop another pin in, spring in there. Wink. And it went. Now this mushroom was going to start off upside down, but it might wind up right side up. We don't know. As long as it gets in there, we're going to be happy. We're not trying to be super precise on this. We're just trying to accomplish a mission. I got that one pushed up, but he's already acting like a mushroom. He's already acting like a mushroom head. Get in there, mushroom head. Alright, I went too far forward. What you can do is back up until you see an empty chamber. And I know I've got that other one loaded, so I've only got 2 pins left and I got 3 chambers. This is cool. The last pin is not going to be loaded. Alright, so I put another guy in there. I hope this is on camera. Most of it is not. I realize that now, but sorry about that. And the last spring goes in, and this one is a... So I did it reverse. The first pin is going to be a standard pin, and all the other ones are going to be spools or mushrooms. And this guy is going to be belligerent. Like I said, when you're not doing something on camera, a lot of this is easier because you can use your eyeballs. There we go. We've got that all the way forward. Now we just push this a little bit forward. We grab our core over here with our pins. We try not to screw this up. Now, look at where, before I grab this, we want to look at this. Look at how I've got this. This is for loading it. Now, for putting the pins in, you want to turn it like that to completely block that area over there. And then this guy is important too. Let's put him sideways, right? So we got this guy sideways, and we got this one like this. And don't worry about that first pin falling in there. And if you do it right, I'm trying to get this on camera, it's just a zinc type of thing. Don't lose it, don't turn it around. Grab your little spring back here for your plunger and put that in there. Grab your little plunger, put the little detent part, this tiny part sticking up. Then put your cap on here, and again, this is where the little plastic follower thing comes in handy. You just hold it and spin. You see, I have not changed the position. All this is out of focus, but you spin this down until it locks. Alright, and I check it by pushing and pulling, and you can see that that one needs to be tightened up a little bit more. You can also see a gap in there. So let me try to reach around the camera without knocking it over and tighten it up. You don't want to go too tight with this. That's pretty good. Now let's check the function of it. Uh-oh, I might have done something wrong. If the key doesn't come out, you've done something wrong. It's not too tight. So there you go. There's an example of doing something wrong, I guess. I probably put the empty pin in here and it became key retaining when it dropped down. You can kind of look through and see, but my key won't come out. So there's how to load a lock and screw it up. I'll show you how to fix this later on, but it actually turns out to be a pretty good educational video because you did see how to do the stuff, but you also saw how to do it incorrectly, which is always handy. I don't have enough time to mess with this because I got to get on the day shift mode, and it's like 10 o'clock, so I'm not sleepy, but I don't want to mess with this anymore tonight. I've learned a few things. I hope you have learned some things also, other than how incompetent I can be on this. But hey, I'm learning. I'm not a locksmith. I would just say like, okay, I'm finished with this, and they're like, oh shit. So, because I'm doing this for my own giggles and stuff, no harm, no foul. I suggest you get one of these little lights if you want. They're pretty cheap. I think I got 2 of them for $2.95. You're supposed to be able to squeeze it. You gotta have pretty good strength. And there's a little lock back here that locks it in, and it's pretty bright for its size, and you can put the screws in. You can replace the battery. Alright, there's 10 minutes. We almost had a lock done.